Alright, so we got a nice hiss out of that. There we go. We got some good smoke coming out. And now the pour. I'm going to go a little bit aggressive here, see if we can generate some head. Alright, so we got a little bit of a head there. It's dissipating quickly. We got large bubbles that are quite dispersed in different sizes. Again, when we look at the overall clarity, very dark, you can't see through it. I don't have light. And there is, again, some either yeast or residual floating around, but that's okay. Now off the nose, you definitely get a different smell than you did off the bourbon. So you can definitely make out the rum. Not as much oakiness right off the first smell or so. So mostly what you're getting off the nose is the rum smell. But it is quite mild. I'd say that the bourbon stood out a little bit more. There's a little bit more visual carbonation. I can see it bubbling as we speak. And there's really no hop smell at all. So in this particular brew, we've got rum oaked oatmeal stout. Started with a Belgium stout, which was pitched Saf Brew S33 yeast into Festa Brew oatmeal stout wort kit. Had an ABV of 3.9%. And again, I failed to mention this for the bourbon stout. It used the same base. So we're looking at about 4% ABV overall. Maybe with bottle carbonation, it might have gone up as high as 4.5. So here we have 40 grams of American oak chips in 4 ounces of lemon heart rum for 5 days until the chips sank to the bottom of the rum. And then the residual rum and oak chips were added to Belgium oatmeal stout in a secondary container. The oat chips were removed after 9 days, and you get that oak sensation and taste. Again, it was bulk carbonated with 30 grams of Mutton's priming powder and bottled. So giving it a taste. Oh yeah. So you definitely get the rum. That's the first thing that hits your palate right away. Almost a little bit overwhelming to the beer, because the first hit is that hot kind of rum alcohol taste. Keeping in mind that it is a stout, so it's darker, but the stout characteristics in this particular beer kind of are hiding in the background a little bit in comparison to the rum. Also, you're not getting as much oakiness as you did in the bourbon rum. In the bourbon stout. There's definitely more carbonation in this, so I think it's got the right amount of carbonation. Again, it's short on head retention, but there's enough carbonation here where it's moving that that roastiness through your palate and clearing your palate for the next taste. But again, I think similar to the bourbon stout, um, you're definitely getting the presence of the alcohol, and in this lesser, on the oakiness, um, but you're getting that hard alcohol taste, which is nice and appealing. But the actual stout qualities are kind of sinking into the background a little bit. So, in my opinion, and by the way, this is a good beer, and the stout, the bourbon stout, I think was even a little bit better. Um, had very nice flavors coming out, but it could be amped up that much more if maybe you could dial back the hard alcohol flavors a little bit, and amp up the traditional stout characteristics. So if you could get a little bit more of a chocolate flavor into it, a little bit more roastiness, just if you can manage to get a little bit more head retention and some creaminess to this, the flavors here would make a sensational beer. But having said that, first of all, I want to give credit to Allen for not only getting back on the horse and home brewing, but to send a beer out to me to give it a try, and I've got 2 more to try as well, which I'll try on another day. But to put yourself out there and say, hey, this is my beer, this is my first crack at it in almost 30 years. What do you think? I mean, that takes balls. Let's just face it, it takes balls. And you know, in this time period where everybody's doing the SJ Pour Challenge and there's some great beers going around and some great beer reviews, I want to give Allen 2 thumbs up for taking this step and sending me this beer. It is definitely a good quality beer. With a little work and a little bit of crafting, I think it could be a really great beer. So, cheers to you, Allen. Thank you for sending me this. I'd also like to do a big shout out right now to a couple friends of mine. I'd like to say cheers to Corn Zenith with the 17 IPA, some of the great things that you're doing on YouTube, and some of the great things that you've been doing on the 17 Brew Crew. I'd also like to say cheers to Polly Detmertz. I love your channel. Thirsty Thursday is fantastic. Keep doing what you're doing. Sometime I might show up in your neck of the woods and drink all of your beer. I'd also like to say cheers to Brew Magoo and Dan ABA. Both of you guys are contributing greatly on the net and on the forums, and Dan with your sour beers, it's incredible, and I'm learning a tremendous amount. I'd also like to say cheers out to SJ Pour for putting on the SJ Pour Challenge, incredible. To Under the Table Brewing, your brew videos, your hop videos, and so forth have been very interesting to me and inspirational. And Clement's Homebrew. I have not seen an internet YouTube brewer that provides such positive feedback, not only to all the subscribers, but you know, every beer that's reviewed, there's always something good to say. And I appreciate the fact that you respond to your comments, you respond to your subscribers. You're doing great things and really increasing the profile of home brewing. So cheers to you all. This is Nexia. I got some more videos to come. Thanks for coming out. Pull up a chair, have a beer with me. Cheers.